call me a god. They call me a god.
Psychological levels. So there are so many ways different people draw their psychological levels. Today I'm going to take you through how I draw my psychological levels. So the concept I use to draw my psychological levels is from the Cortex theory. So Cortex theory. So you can look out more on this concept. Cortex theory. So the Cortex theory is a concept that was developed by this trader, Elian Yutov, right? And he developed this concept based on how he sees the market and the market movement in the stock market a lot of years ago, right? So if you want to know more about what I'm saying, go look up Elian Yutov and then the concept of the Cortex theory. There are so many aspects I'm not going to talk about in this video, so you could look this up and research more on this concept. So in summary, what the Cortex theory basically states is that price makes 1,000 pip movement. So we have 1,000 and then a 0. So price would move from 0 to 1,000 pips. But before it does that, it's going to do that in 4 quarters. So if you divide something into quarters, you're going to have 4 different parts. So you have first quarter, second quarter, and a third quarter. So if you divide 1,000 into 4, you're going to get what? 250 each. So 250 pips, 250 pips, 250 pips, and another 250 pips. So his understanding of the market is that for the market to make 1,000 pip move, it needs to break it down into 4 different quarters. So what, in simple terms, what this concept basically says is that if price starts from here, it is going to the next 200 pip. And if price breaks this level, it's going to the next 250 pips. If it breaks this level, it's going to the next 250 pips until it gets to the main 1,000 pip movement. And then price would now decide whether it will continue to the next 1,000 pip movement or come back down to the next 1,000 pip movement, right? So anywhere along the line, price can start from this level here, make a 200 pip movement and decide to come back and test before it goes here, right? So it doesn't mean it's going to go straight all the way up. So I use this concept in addition to the strategies I use and knowing the importance of psychological levels. So if you don't know what psychological levels are points on the charts that are very important levels. So for instance, you have price. Let me change this color. So you have price at 0.8. So psychological levels are round numbers. So 0.85 is a very important. Oh, okay. 0.85 is all the way down here. So 0.85 is a very important number. So when we are trading, what we are looking at is prices. And round numbers are very important. So if you look at your whole numbers, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to infinity, right? And it runs like that. We have what we call junction numbers. So you have 0, you have 10, you have 20, 30, 40, all the way 50, 60. Those are junction numbers. And we have intermediate numbers like 5, between 5 and 0 and 10. And then you have 15, between 10 and 20. So these are very important numbers. And since we are dealing with currencies or stocks or crypto, those are very important prices that people make decisions on. So like someone would decide to buy the euro against the pound at what 0.8700 because it's a very specific number. So it is more about pricing. So for instance, if you go to the market, you see a lot of things that are priced in, let's say, $10, right? Than things that are priced in $9.24. You will get some things, especially if you go to the supermarket because most people will pay with their credit card, they don't really care about the cents. You might get things priced in 9.24, but mostly you are going to get a lot of things priced in $10. You get a lot of things priced in what, $15. A lot of things priced in what, $20. So these are major levels that people are interested in buying. The same concept applies to trading. So different people have different ways of drawing their psychological levels. So some people would mark this level here, for instance. So this is a resistance level. So price test. So price test this level, test that level, test here. This is a very strong level. But because price is close to 0.700 here, you might mark 0.77 as a what? A psychological level. So different people use different ways to draw their psychological level, but I use the concept of the Cortex theory to draw my psychological level. So what do I look at? So I'm looking at 1,000 pip movement and divide it into 4 to give me my 4 Cortex. So for me to get 1,000 pip movement, I'll look for a major whole number. So here we are in the 0.8 level. So I'll look for 0.8000 is the beginning of 1,000 pip movement. So you don't have to go there. You can just go to settings and set your coordinates to what you are looking for. So 0.8000, it will go all the way down. So my next psychological level up, is going to be 0.9000. So 0.9000. So the distance between this level here and this level here is 1,000 pips. So if you are not sure, or you might not, this is easy, but sometimes if this is new to you, drawing these levels might be a little difficult for some people. So if you are not sure, you can use the pip counting to measure how much pip this is. All right, so this is, we see this is 996 because we are not exactly on that level. So you get the idea. This is 1,000 pip movement. So according to the Cortex theory, what I now do is to divide this into 4 quarters. So 4 quarters means you are going to get 4 250 pip movements. So the first level would be 0.8250. If you're not sure, you use a calculator to help you. But with time, you get used to it. 0.8250. That is my first quarter point, first 250 pip movement. The second 250 pip movement is going to be 0.8500. 0.8500. And the third quarter movement is going to be what? 0.8750. All right, so we have 4 major quarter points. So according to the Cortex theory, what this theory is basically saying is that if price, you get a structure. It's not saying prices. This is not like a strategy telling you that buy here and sell here. But basically what this is saying is that, let's say you have a strategy that tells you that this is a good point to sell. Long term, you could be targeting the next quarter point, right? So this movement started from here. Price broke, retested, rejected a quarter point, and came all the way here. Right? When price here, at this point here, we have price reacting to the quarter point multiple times, but we've not had any next movement. But what it's basically saying is that long term, if price wants to make a move, right, it makes a lot of sense for price to target the next quarter point. You can see here, price came all the way here and rejected. So it's not like it is not like straightforward that because price is rejecting here. So here, this is Euro GBP. So let's use this opportunity to talk about Euro GBP because this is current price. Price has broken this level. So this movement, price is actually going to continue dropping into this level. After a pullback, we could target the next quarter point. So this is how I draw my psychological levels using the quarter point. So this is a 250 pip movement, and this is good for people that are doing swing trading. But there is a more simpler breakdown where you can have So these 250 pip movements is what major quarter points. We have minor quarter points, which I don't want this video to be, this recording to be long. So I might cover that in another video where I'll break down the minor quarter point. But you are free to look up Alien Yotov and learn more details about the contest theory. But I would also teach you my version of and my modification of how I use the contest theory to draw my psychological level. So this is the first step I use in drawing my psychological levels, and I then apply all the various concepts that and the strategies I trade to it to help me to use them as take profit points and also help me in coming up with long-term targets. Right. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and see you in the next video.